£2,000. It's a lot of dosh, but it's not that much if you're going to buy a car with it. How do you make sure you can get value for money?
A main dealer, a private sale, an auction, or what? If you haven't got all the time in the world, it can be a nightmare sorting out which deal suits you best.
So, to take a flying look at the pros and cons of the different ways of buying a car, we're going to try and get a bargain for £2,000 in 6 hours. I want something that's reliable, easy to service, and perhaps my auntie would be happy to drive.
Well, I'm looking for something with a bit of a classy image, something that definitely doesn't look like a £2 bargain. But they never are quite £2,000, are they? The windscreen price is usually £19.95. So, Ivor, could you look after these for us?
Certainly.
Ivor's our guardian angel and guide in the second-hand car market. What are our chances?
Well, I think your chances are pretty good because there are plenty of used cars around at the moment, especially at the £2,000 end of the market. What you've got to be careful of, though, is the fact that you've only got 6 hours, so you could be pressured into making a mistake. So take it easy and I wish you luck.
So, Nicky, anything here that takes your fancy?
Well, lots, but 9,000, 12,000?
Yeah, well, that's the sort of car that we're selling here, what we call nearly new. What were you looking for? How much money have you got?
I'm embarrassed to say I've got £2,000.
And you want a whole car for 2,000?
Afraid so. It must be possible.
Well, it is possible. It's not that we don't keep those sort of cars here, but we take a lot in part exchange about that sort of price.
So there is hope. I think
Oh, there is hope, and I'd love to take the money off you.
Not just yet. I want to ask Ivor first what he thinks.
Well, as Jim's pointed out, if you've got a budget of £2,000, I don't think a main dealer really is the place to come with it. It may be worth drifting in and asking a salesman whether he's got any Part X's in though at £2,000. Otherwise, there are more obvious places to go.
Hello?
Ivor,
Eamonn, yes, hello.
I'm reading the small ads and I found a Citroen BX 1.9 GTI 89. It's looking at £1,800. What do you think?
You've got to be careful there because surveys show that 1 in 3 cars bought through the small ads turn out to be lemons. So what you've got to do is, if you're going to go and answer one, take a mobile inspection man with you. It costs a bit, but it's worth doing. And also check with the National Survey of Used Car Information. That can tell you whether the car's stolen, whether it's got outstanding finance, or whether it has any stage been written off by an insurance company.
OK.
That's the only way you can cover yourself.
Cheers, Ivor.
Cheers, good luck.
I can get a cheaper car than that.
How?
One of the snatchbacks.
What's that?
One the repossession from the finance companies. Who repossess them from the businessmen.
And then sell them on cheaply?
Well, then the repossessors sell it cheaply, not the finance company.
Is it legal?
It's a bit immoral, but it is legal.
Thanks, but I don't think I'll bother.
Cheers.
Would you get a chance to come and look at these the day before?
With some auctions you do, yes, and it would definitely be advisable to do that, although you can't necessarily get into the car or under the bonnet, so even a look the night before is very limited. But at least you get the option where you get the chance to target the car you're interested in, and you know to wait for it the next day and act quickly if you're really that interested. But I really wouldn't recommend it to anybody. These guys are all experts. They can deal with buying a car in under 1 minute.
Well, I always thought auctions were a great place for a bargain, but that was frankly terrifying.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hostile environment, isn't it? You shouldn't write it off, though. You can get a good bargain from an auction, providing you know how to use the system, and that entails attending several auctions before you actually go with serious intent to buy. The best catch to be had at auctions are high-mileage ex-fleet cars, which go for a low price, but you know they've been maintained properly.
So, on to the traditional second-hand car lot. All sorts of shapes, sizes, colours and prices. Brian, what can you offer me?
We've got all different makes of cars at all different prices, all different colours. If we haven't got what you want, we'll get it for you within a week or so.
But what about a warranty?
Warranties we give on each car, they cost roughly £150 or so, and it guarantees you peace of mind for 12 months.
Ivor, what do you think?
Well, with a budget of £2,000, I think this kind of car lot is probably the best place to buy. The prices are right, and it's also a member of the Retail Motor Industry Federation, so you're safeguarded.
And that's something to look out for, is it?
Very much so. The cogwheel motif, be on the lookout for it.
Yes, I think this is my style, but probably not quite enough. This is a car supermarket, and I've heard about these places and never been to one. But the main appeal for me, especially after that auction, is that the price you see on the car is supposed to be the price you actually pay, so there's none of that agony of having to haggle. It might be worth a quick try. Any discount for cash?
I'm afraid not. It's out of the question.
Oh, why not?
We work on a very small margin, but a very high turnover, so it would be out of the question. All these cars are very high mileage cars compared with the cars you would get in a main agent.
But isn't high mileage supposed to be a bad thing?
It can be in some cases, but certainly not with these cars. These cars have been run at a constant temperature, steady speed, and engineers will tell you that cars do not sustain wear and tear to a great deal when they're used like that.
All right, it's round town stop and go that really...
It's the stop-start work that tends to destroy a car.
All right, I'm just going to have a word with my expert. Ivor!
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
What do you think?
Well, mileage isn't everything, but maintenance is, and these cars have all been religiously maintained, so I'd have no qualms about buying any of them. And there are plenty more of these car supermarkets setting up all over the nation. The big bonus, of course, is that you also get an automatic 12-month warranty.
Well, this is my choice, and I did go to the established second-hand car dealer, who was a member of the Industry Federation, although I have to admit I exceeded the £2,000 limit.
Well, I'm pretty pleased with myself. This car fits all my criteria, including the price. It was just under 2,000, and I found it in all places on the notice board at work. Should have looked there in the first place, shouldn't I?
I've bought a Sierra Sapphire 1.8 LX E-Reg.
Looks very tidy. How many miles have it done?
Just about 75,000.
75,000. I think you've got yourself a good catch there.
Well, I have to admit to putting about £300 on top.
You've exceeded budget.
Yeah.
Even then, I think that's a fairly good catch.
Not a great bargain, but a
No,
sound
you haven't
buy.
got yourself a great bargain, but I think it's a reasonable purchase.
Hello.
Hello.
What do you think? It's a D-Reg Saab 900i.
Very nice too. How many miles have it done?
Well, quite a lot. It's 111.
That is a lot.
That's not a problem because these old Swedes are quite robust cars, so it's got plenty of life in it still.
And I know the person I bought it off, and I think they're fairly steady sort of motorway drivers.
Well,
so.
if you know the history, then
Yeah.
that's the important thing.
All right, well, can I have my fiver back?
I think you're going to need it actually.
Thank you.
What did you spend?
2,300.
Your change?
Ooh, 1995.